This is everybody's day. This is everybody's day. Whosoever. Why do people have the life? Remember, the subject is tending the life, and the burden is that this life is designed to express in multi-fashion. Sometimes it's administered as an impartation. Sometimes it's administered as a flame. Sometimes it comes as the release of some dimension of grace. Is somebody with me? Sometimes the life, even in my own little ministerial expression, comes as a garment. This morning, Jesus promised us that there was going to be a whole congregational reality of the oil of preservation. And because my body was tired, I didn't want to lay hands on anybody. I said, everybody, you lay your hands on your head a little. You just put your right hand on your head. Let Jesus pass through your hands. There's nothing mystical about what we do in laying hands. And then I prayed a simple prayer. And I was going to continue my prayer. And Victoria Orenzi's song, the AIR song, started playing in my spirit. And so I began to hum that song gradually. And the hand of the Lord began to rest on people. The Lord now said, but I have 7 particular people. And I want you to give them that gift. I've said you can always give. There's only one gift. Jesus said, anytime you get into a meeting and you sense a need, just ask me to give it. I will allow you. And it's that he will give a garment of his presence. It is a garment that makes you aware in very tangible terms that God is with you. Me, I don't just have a cerebral knowledge of God is with me. I can feel him. It's a weight of the presence that is interactable. So, Jesus said there were only 8. And so we pleaded with him that let him use the giving of that 8 as a sign to prove that everybody has received. And until the last person is gifted that oil of preservation, let the 8th person not wear the garment. So he did that. When we got to the 8th person, my next feedback from the Spirit was that some people who were not gifted that garment with a tangible touch started asking. And so the Lord will show me where the people who just asked him are. So somebody just asked him. Boom, the person goes. Another one asked him. Okay. Oh, 3 guys just asked him. And then the 3 go off. And there's another one there. I know Victor will query me this night because I was laughing through the process. It was not. So 2 other people just asked them. And the garment comes and they go off like that. The life can be a garment. Is somebody with me? Why do people wear those garments for 2 days and then begin to look for it? Because you can go to a fire conference and they put a flame on you. Maybe there's something they call prayer fire. Abi now. If it comes on you, you can't pray gently again, you pray violently. Why is it that the prayer doesn't last for 72 hours? That you go back to sleep and then you are trusting God to see another flyer that has fire on it. It's because the life was designed to be tended. And if you go across scriptures, you see scattered prescriptions to give free course of expression to that flame. Instructions in spiritual engagement, instructions in consecrated existence. Like I brought to us during the conference, to ensure that what is received is sustained in potency as a means of expressing gratitude to the giver. Isaac, if you give me a shoe and you come to visit us in the house and you behold your shoe muddied on the floor outside, how will you feel? He said he will feel bad. Oh, I thought you said mad. Okay. He said he will feel bad. The bad feeling will be, this guy knows Sabi value. Because sometimes expensive shoes don't look fine. In the truth, it's the very fine ones are the cheap ones. So somebody walks into the building with crocodile skin shoe. The shoe is ash and black. And then you're wondering, are you fine? And then you find out that if 50 of you want to pay school fees, you will still not buy the shoe. How we treat what God gives to us is our greatest show of gratitude to Him. Because the givings of God are not free. They were made free. They are all blood bought. Everything God gives came by blood, the blood of the Christ. And so you disdain the blood. You make light of the sacrifice of heaven when you stay out of tending. If you got a flame yesterday, one of the ways to blow on the flame is to build a prayer routine. I've taught us before. Every time you receive something tangible from God, according to the Old Testament patriarchs, what they do is to build an altar around that thing. During the last conference, God put a flame in my spirit. You will look for a period in your 24 hours as by the Spirit, and you will build an altar to maintain it. It can be an altar of worship. That for 15 minutes every day, I'll be worshiping to the God who put a flame on my head. That's the way of the patriarchs. We can trace the path that the patriarchs walked through, and their ways are littered by the altars of their encounters. When we find out that there's no active altar in your life, it means that you are a waster of the things that God gives. The design is to tend for sustainability. Build Bible study around what you received. They said, take fire, and fire came upon you. Go and research in scriptures what the fire is supposed to do, how the fire is supposed to be preserved. Look for a song that advertises God in the fashion of the giver of what you received. That's how we survive. Go online, download a song that says that God is that thing, or that personality that gives you that thing. That's what gives sustenance. Find out the consecrations of those who came before you in scriptures and in modern day expression, men who permanently carry that thing. And according to scriptures, be a follower of them who through faith and patience inherit the promises of God. That's how to tend to what God gave you. The destiny of every flame is to win. Think about Danangi. Eru. There's a way they say it in Yoruba. They say Eru no man be ikinikan. It means no matter how big the log is, if it chooses to continue to burn, they say inoku oferu boju. The destiny of every burning log is ashes. And like I found out in the university one time, that if you pass through, fire gives us smoke, right? When you pass through a place where you see ashes, stamp it, what would it do? Ash also has a look-alike smoke. Fire self releases smoke. Ash requires effort. Poo, 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 poo. And then the thing is up. And then we think, oh. Every time you see ashes, let it be a reminder to you that fire once passed through here. And what is left of some people's encounters with God is a heap of ash, because they do not know that it needs to be tended. The fire on the altar, Pastor Diola, was not lit by a priest. It was God who dropped the flames of the altar. But according to scriptures, it is the responsibility of the priest to tend it. He must come in the morning and put wood, and come in the evening and put wood. It's a picture to the flame that God puts on you, that at least there are 2 time frames in a day in which you must supply wood. If not, the fire will go out. So the Lord began to speak to me from Revelation chapter 3. And I think the reading is from verse 7. Don't worry, I'll start my manipulation teaching. So I know that's what I'm waiting for. We don't even know what I want to teach there anyway. So, but I'll start it this night. And I'll continue later. It was a letter to the angel of the church in Philadelphia. Based on my study, there are two churches that did not suffer negative rebukes. I don't have all the time to read because I want to enter my main teaching for the night. But you will find commendations and commendations. Let's go on till the 11th verse. Let's give me from 10. You'll find commendations upon commendations. You will find promises of rewards upon promises of rewards. So that in the 10th verse, the Lord said to the church, because thou hast kept my word of patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of tribulation. You see, one of the grounds upon which this church escaped condemnation from the Lord was that it was a church under no kind of pressure. Verse 10 was a revelation that there was impending temptation. But because in the seasons of ease, they did not become lascivious, Jesus came with a promise that even in the seasons of their contention, he will keep them from the reality of that hour, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell in the earth. It means the church in Philadelphia will not be able to bear witness to destruction or compromise, even when trying times come upon the world. Why? They have kept the word of his patience. Verse 11 is what I need. A warning. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. It was a revelation that churches are apportioned reality. Realities that are given by God, but realities that can slip if they are not held fast. Can I have a more contemporary translation? Any other translation? I am coming quickly. Hold on to what you have, that no one takes your crown. So I decided to research the reality of crowns, because Jesus was not advertising royalty. The frame of reference of that last warning was in an Olympic bowl, where after a lot of competition, the one who prevails has a wreath of victory. Like Jesus wore a crown of thorns, there is a wreath of flowers that is woven, that is using in ancient Greek expression as the trophy of the victor. Are you with me? Like Arsenal and Man City and Liverpool are trying to contend for a cup. Abi, all the others are outsiders. This they know. In the same way, understand that on the track that you have been apportioned, so it's not about somebody stealing your throne. It's that there is a victor's crown that God has apportioned for you. What will make you end up as a victor is not essentially in how well you fight. It's essentially in how well you preserve what you have. Because what you have is what makes you win. It means the battle is not essentially a mortal battle to wound you on the body. The battle is to take from you what you have. Because even if, okay, Pastor Dola, did you have any, what did you study again? Educational management. Okay. So when we build a school, we'll just, you'll have gone to Canada that time. So people in Canada, please, Pastor Dola has been sent to Canada. So, and I'm serious. He has a mandate to do ministry in the nation of Canada. And spiritually, we I've decreed the gate open. May God make it happen. It will be my greatest joy within the space of the next 24 months to see that whole family move into the nation of Canada. So if you are listening from Canada, this is a worthy missionary to your nation. May God give you understanding. Have I tried? Okay. Because I'm praying help will come. All the help that we need will come. Okay. I was going to ask, did you do sports in secondary school? What did you do? Goalkeeper. Okay. Maybe when we want to form a football club, but we'll first test you. Because there's an African goalkeeper whose hairstyle is like your own. And May God give you understanding. So, in racing, when we used to do relay inter-school, if you find out that a particular school team is stronger than you, and that was our reality in the city of Oyo, when I was in Nesto, we were the fastest runners. Our girls were also the fastest until a certain school showed up. There's a school like Isale Oyo. Who is from Oyo here? There's a school called the Isale Oyo Community. That time was a mixture of skill and charms. Pastor Dela, in football, they had a very short defender. We used to call that guy Iku. That guy can single-handedly defend 3 attackers. This short. Once he carries the ball from their post and crosses the middle line, he will score. When he wears his boot, he cuts the toe area and then wears a ring. So as he's coming, if you love your life, you grant him admittance. That's how he penetrates. A time came when the girls from that school became proficient. And our girls needed to reinvent to keep winning. I won't mention the name of a particular person, but if any of them is watching, they know the one of them that used to carry out this thing. Her skill is built around the betting exchange zone. She knows how to move her betting quickly from one hand to the other hand. But you see, that exchange takes a betting out of somebody's hand. Because she knows that no matter how fast you run, if there's no betting in your hand, you are disqualified. She used to work in a promotion, so she knows herself now. Boom, boom. Somebody's betting has dropped. And while they are trying to look for their betting, phew, they are gone. Sometimes when those girls try to get on her lane, she grabs her betting full-handed and then whips that person. Woo, 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 woo. And by the person's movement, the betting drops. She's married now, has children. Okwe, that's her name. Okwe, that's her name. She was a master. You will fall down. You will put your leg inside your leg, drop your betting, and then she moves like a wind and passes. It's not about wounding the person. It's about dispossessing the person of something that is precious. That's the shape of the enemy's warfare. He's after the grace you have embodied. He's after the privileges that God has given to you. So sometimes he makes you sick. It's to take you out of prayer so that you can no longer tend the flame. So when we lie down on our sick bed, we reserve our energy. When our friends come to say, how are you? And then you gist for 5 minutes. No, we reserve that 5 minutes for prayer. Because we want to keep what we have. Sometimes it brings you into abundance. That even though you didn't eat at home, any tree that lies on your path, you can enter and eat conveniently. We know that abundance and what's the word? An abstinence from fasting are not the same reality. Because I have money does not mean I should not fast. I'm saying that fasting is not for the times when you don't have food. Because the enemy can create systems of abundance to make sure that you have no reason to fast. Satan cannot be about food. It is about that precious thing. Sometimes you find out that in the seasons where you climbed into God, there's a stranger that walks into your life. A stranger that your heart alights upon. You know there's something wrong, but you stay glued to them. It's because Satan wants to wrestle something from your hand. Hence the admonition of scriptures that a day of recompense is close. Your labor to preserve what you have is about to end when you will meet your giver. But as you wait, hold fast, hold well, hold tightly onto what you have. John, many of us cry out for what we don't have. And the truth is, the reason why many people notice what they don't have is that what they have has been taken. The emptiness you feel is not just because God has not given anything. It's because even what He gave, you have no retention capacity. And this time, as God begins to deal with us as a house in restorative fashion, we must train ourselves to keep the things that He has given to us. So a sound gate open to you. And every time you begin to pray, a new song comes. You pray, a new song comes. And it comes as a song of ascension. A song that brings you into greater dimensions of God. But it only happens for 1 week. And the following week, you are looking for a door to climb in. Hold fast that gate of ascension. It's the way you go to bed. Have you noticed that the average Christian who has a robust relationship with God, average, so it's not everybody, wakes up at the same time to urinate in the night? Within the same 15 minutes. How many of you have noticed it? Okay, you sleepwalk into the toilet. I mean, you just go and then you come back. Me, I check times. I won't tell you because it's private. But I wake up at the same time every day. Within the same 5 minutes. So when I come back, I don't just stumble into my bed. Because consistency means that a spirit is involved. It means the desire to go and ease myself has been aligned with a gate of entrance in God. So when I come back, I put a few words to the great one. And sometimes it stretches it. My wife knows that sometimes I may not sleep again. I'll just be up like that till morning. Everybody must labor into their God-assigned technology to keep their flames burning. Because there is the adversary who is not essentially after you. He's an enemy of God. You became an enemy of Satan because you have been brought into a friendship relationship. So Satan hates you on the ground that the friend of my enemy is my enemy. That's why I hate you. That thing that God has given to you is not just for you. It's so that the witness of God can be sustained in the earth realm. And so what the enemy does is to attack the keeper of the tokens of the witness of God, so that the witness of God can be dropped. And then God is no longer known by people. So he says, hold fast that which thou hast. Crave for more, but guard what you have. Guard what you have. I know you are trusting him for eyes that can see. You want to be a seer. Maybe what you fellowship with currently is just a witness in the heart. Guard the purity of that witness. Maybe the only thing you have around scriptures now is consistent reading. I know you want to be an interpreter of this mysteries of God, but ask for help to preserve the reading. It may be small, but it must be kept. Is somebody with me tonight? It may be small, but it must be kept. I have 2 other portions of scripture, but I have to draw the curtain on this aspect for now. It may be small. Compared to what other people stand in, it may be small, but it must be preserved. Where it is lost, it will not bring profit to the kingdom. And I found out that, you see, in ancient shepherding experience, the enemy only comes to attack a flock when they are with young. When the flock is pregnant, maintenance is high, special feeds, special care. Do you still have any Greek people here? Okay, now it's just 400 and 500 level, right? Or 3 to 5. 4 and 5. So any animal, what do you call it? An animal, is it husbandry or production? That's APH. Okay, animal production and health. You find out that when sheep is pregnant, the maintenance is high. You read pigs one time, and then the wicked. My wife too read pigs before, and then one stranger came and blew upon their flock. It's chemical engineering and urban and regional planning, rearing pig. So they were waiting that maybe they felt like malaria, the thing would heal until the thing started dying. When animals give birth, they become very vulnerable. The sheep can't run, and the lambs can't run too fast. So when the enemy comes, the enemy leverages on the compassion of the mother for the lambs. Because the mother will not escape today. It will stay with those who are dragging. And so the enemy can come that time and then attack the flock. Every time God gives you a fresh reality, be wary of the adversary. Because the Bible in John chapter 10 verse 10, Jesus, in advertising the shape of the enemy, in the day he shows up as a shepherd, called him the thief. I know you know it's the wicked one, it's the deceiver. Jesus said, the thief cometh not, but to steal, to kill, and to destroy. It means if you allow the enemy take from you what belongs to you, what you activated in the realms of the spirit is a protocol that will end in destruction. He comes as a thief. I wish he was called a destroyer, but his first face is thief. If he steals, he will occasion death, and if death happens, a man will become destroyed. Isaac, guard what you have. Where are the sisters in the house? Guard what you have. I have a sermon, I called it prescriptions for accurate living or something. Prescriptions for something. Jerry, you still have it. Live as a creature of prayer. Live your life by the word of God. Walk in the spirit. Watch and pray. When you wear white, you don't eat shaki. Like this white you're wearing now. I wanted to wear white like you and look like an angel because my wife wore white yesterday. I wanted to wear a black shoe with a white sole. I now saw that rain is dropping small. The splatter could change the color of my clothes and make me look like Pastorium wearing brown. So I decided to leave my white at home for another day, but I still wear it one day. You can't be friends with someone who sells palm oil if you love wearing white. What you will find out, don't believe me, but when it happens, please talk to somebody, be accountable to somebody. Many of you who truly collected from God will witness strangers coming close to you. You may not even be sure you collected until you see that the stranger is attempting consecration. Watch. Don't just pray. Watch, watch, watch. Don't sleep with two eyes. I mean, when you walk around, let your antennas be high. Because the adversary is likened to a lion, a roaring lion. And the reason why he roars is that there's no food for him to readily eat. The Bible says he's seeking for whom he may devour. It means there's no ready meat for Satan. He will need to seek. In the day he comes seeking, may you be immune to his quest. So Jerry, please help me find that somewhere. Have you found it? Just type the word prescriptions. I preached that sermon in different variations over 5 times. I think the prescriptions are more. Prayer, study of the Bible, walking in the Spirit, watching and praying. There are about 5 or 6. Anybody who can remember any other one? Okay, you don't know. I may have deleted the notes, so I don't even know what it is again, but I know there are like 5 or 6. So please listen to the sermon and be helped in the name of Jesus. Now, Timmy, let's run and we can close. I want to introduce this subject to you.